Alright, what up YouTube? Doomnyc here with deck of the month for November 2011. I think it's pretty obvious that you guys would know what deck I'm going to be playing, since it's probably going to be the biggest deck played at YCS Ohio, and that deck is Dark World. So this is the deck that I've been playtesting right now. It seems to be working out pretty good, so let me show you guys what I think the deck should look like. So we played 3 Dark World Grapha. Obviously this is like the big, the big monster of the deck. 27 with gates on the field, 3000. A great ditch effect is incredible. So yeah, definitely you want to play that at 3. 3 Snow, again another great card. 17 with gate on the field, 2000. 2000 for free is huge, and then ditch him and you get to search a Dark World card, so that's pretty awesome. 3 Browse, again you gotta play this. You ditch it, you draw a card. This is great because it's level 3 Fiend. What does that mean? That means tour guide all day. So, and this is like one of the main things. Like when you play tour guide, you get this, you bounce this back to your hand to put Grapha on the field, or you can exceed. It's all up to you. I play 2 Beige. You play this to add consistency to the deck. A lot of people say don't play this card, and I don't understand why. If you don't play this card, then you can't play Raven, and that just doesn't make sense, because then you won't have any tuners. Like this and Raven is like free. Like most of the time I have Raven, this, like, you always want to play Raven when you have a few monsters in your hand. You have this and a Brow in your hand, you summon Raven, you ditch Brow in this, you draw one with Brow, and then you special summon this, and then you can sync for a level 8. Like, that play is so good, you gotta play that. 2 Beige for sure. Double Fabled Raven. This is the only tuner in the deck, but it's really good. Prince Kumori, I hope you kept your Ravens and you didn't sell them off, because they're selling at like 50 bucks a piece right now. So I've got my play set. I hope you still got yours. 2 Ravens, excellent in the deck. The only tuner, discard effect. This is like the monster that's gonna discard your stuff. If you discard a Grapha or whatever, you get the effects, so that's really good. Then of course, play triple tour guide, proxy in 1. What can I say? It adds consistency to the deck. It just makes a lot of decks more consistent, and Dark Worlds is no exception. Especially being a Fiend, this is really good with the field spell, because you can remove this from play. It's excellent. And then of course 1 Sanguine, and Sanguine is good because you can search tour guide with it. You can search your Browse. Just really good card. I don't play Morphing Jar. I find it not only to be slow, but also very bad in the mirror. So, if your opponent's playing Morphing Jar, that's great for you if you're playing Dark World, because then you'll get their secondary effects. And you guys already know that Dark World secondary effects are broken. So, now we go on to the spells. And that's 17 monsters, I think. Usually, if you guys want to know the monster count like this, this is what you guys should do. If you don't want to play tour guides, or you can't play tour guides, or you can't afford it, take out the 3 tour guides and the Sanguine, and put in a 3rd Beige, and put in a Morphing Jar. So then you'll end up running 15 monsters. That's probably like the best solution that I could think of. There's other tech choices, but that'd probably be the most consistent if you can't afford to play tour guide. So now we go on to the spells. We play 3 Gates of Dark World. I've seen builds with people playing this at 2. I don't understand why. I wouldn't play this at 2 and then 2 Terraforming. Terraforming in this type of deck is just a waste of a card. Play 3 Gates. It won't clutter your hand, and if it does, you can always just discard it with Dark World Dealings or something. Play 3 of this. It's way better. 3 Drag Down into the Grave. You gotta play this. This card is so good in the deck, especially first turn. You have this. You have like 4 other spell and trap, and then you have like a Grapha in hand. You set them all, you play this, your opponent has to discard Grapha, and then boom, you get Grapha's effect where he destroys a card on your opponent's side of the field, and it's just, and then you get to draw a card. It's really, really good, and you get to see your opponent's hand. That's just broken. 2 Dark World Dealings and 1 Allure of Darkness. I found this to be way more consistent. With the higher monster count at 17, it's good to have the extra draw power, plus it eliminates a monster from your hand without your opponent getting to ditch also. So the 2 Dark World Dealings is good to get off effects like Grapha, Snow, and the Allure is just for the extra draw power. So again, it's really good. You only want to use Allure mainly if you draw a double tour guide, then you can use 1 on tour guide. Like, I hate that. That's like the worst thing that could happen in the deck, and that's not that bad. So that's to tell you how good the deck is. Card Destruction is pretty much staple in Dark World, so you should play it. 2 Dark World Lightning. I don't main MSTs. I main this because you get effects, you know, and this can also destroy monsters, so it's a little bit, it gains an edge over MST, so I run 2 of those. Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, and Dark Hole. So that rounds out your spells. Now we go into the traps. Not that many traps. You play double Mind Crush. This is pretty obvious with Drag Down to the Grave. I don't play Trap Dust Shoot. A lot of people are probably going to play Trap Dust Shoot, but the reason why I don't play it is because if you draw that Drag Down to the Grave first turn, that's a better Trap Dust Shoot because it's not only monsters. You get to select spells, traps, whatever you want. And, you know, if you have Mind Crush in your hand, or you set Mind Crush on your opponent's draw phase, you Mind Crush something else. Like, there's no need to play Trap Dust Shoot, and drawing Trap Dust Shoot late game is pretty dead. So, you know, I wouldn't really recommend playing Dust Shoot, but you can play it if you want. I just don't feel that there's any need for it. Mirror, Torrential, Warnings, because the Solemn Brigade is really good, and Judgment. And my tech choice for the deck, Eradicator, Epidemic Virus. Now this is way better than running Trap Dust Shoot, because spells and traps are pretty much, I mean, what else is there going to be to negate Grapha? If you guys don't know, but I'm sure a lot of you guys do, with Grapha's effect, basically your opponent can't DD Crow this guy if this guy already used his effect to come on the field. They have to DD Crow him like when Brow hits the field. Like if you go Tour Guide into Brow, right, and then before you use Grapha's effect to bounce Brow, you have to remove this with DD Crow. If you don't and you activate this effect, it's already too late. You can't chain DD Crow to that because this doesn't start a chain. So Eradicator, Epidemic Virus is always live. No matter what, if you play this deck well, or you play the build that I'm using, Grapha's always going to hit the field no matter what, and this card's always going to be live whenever you get it. So it's really, really good. It's a big game changer. It's a game winner, in my opinion. So anyway, side deck: Chimera Tech, double Cyber, double Crow, double Space, because, and you may need it. You may decide to side out the Lightnings to put this in. 1 Debunk. There's going to be people running that Gemini Imps, I think, against this deck. Just run Debunk and just, you know, make those guys put those garbage cards away, please. 2 Light Mirrors, Starlight. 2 Bottomless for the mirrors is really good in the mirror. And 2 Deck Devastations, because against plants, you know, agents, it's even good if they draw Shine Balls and stuff. Yeah, or, you know, Earths or whatever. So Deck Devastation is really good, and again, just like Eradicator, this is going to be always live, except this is live with like more things like your Snow and stuff like that, so this is even better. For the extra deck, Catastor, Bryonic, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, because you do play Raven, which is light, so you can play that. Black Rose, Ancient Fairy to get your field spell and destroy. This is really good in the mirror. Double Stardust Dragon, you know, just in case. 1 Fabled Valkyrius. You should play this card. This card is just excellent. It allows you to discard a fiend type, which all Dark Worlds are fiends, and then you draw a card. So if you discard Brow, you draw a card, and then you draw a card again. If you discard Grapha, you get the effect. So this guy's really good. 2900 B stick. Trish, Ally of Justice, Decisive Armor for agents. Now we go on to the Exceeds. We play 1 Leviathan and 2 Leviers. You gotta play Levier. The field spell removes from play stuff. If you go Tour Guide into Tour Guide and you get Levier, you get to bring back one of those cards, and you can do broken stuff. Like I've done things where you remove like a snow or something, right? So snow's removed. You go Tour Guide into Tour Guide, you get Levier, you ditch, you get the snow. Snow's face up on the field. Guess what? You got Grapha in the graveyard. Let's see if I can get one. Where is this guy? There we go. You got Grapha in the grave. You bounce snow back to your hand. Now you have Grapha on the field. Then if you have any discard cards like Dark World Dealings, bam, you ditch this again. You search again. This is the type of combos that Dark World has. This deck is obviously, you know, one of the best in the format right now. And the last two Exceeds, Roach and Utopia. You won't be going into these guys too much, but they're just there just in case. This Dark World isn't much of a control deck. It's more of a beatdown deck. So I don't really see you going into Roach that often, but it's just there just in case. So that is Deck of the Month for November 2011. Dark Worlds. Build a deck, test it out. Like I said, if you don't have Tour Guide and you can't afford it, take the 3 Tour Guide and the Sanguine out, put in another Beige and a Morphing Jar, and play 15 monsters. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, YouTube, peace.